A massive rescue operation is underway right now near 16th and Fowler.
KETV News Watch 7's Dave Roberts joins us live with the breaking details.
It's been a wild night in this North Omaha neighborhood where dozens of people had to be rescued from their homes near 16th and Ames. Right now, you can see some of the crews starting to peel out of here. The good news, we're told that the water is starting to recede. The bad news, with each wave of rain, it's coming back up. They've done primary searches of the neighborhoods from 16th to 19th, from Ames all the way up at least 3 blocks north of here past Fowler, checking all the houses, make sure people inside could get out and get rescued. Not everyone's home was flooded, however, some were surrounded by water. Now, earlier today, we saw some of these people getting rescued. It was a very emotional time for some families, children in their mother's arms being taken from homes, put into boats, loaded into buses, and then taken to a community center where right now we're told that they're still there, possibly going to spend the night there, or at least trying to find a place for these people to spend the night. Some people were very emotional about having to leave their homes or not being able to get back in. Police kept this area very secure throughout the day, trying to keep people out. They didn't want any crime, any looters or anyone in there. They didn't even let people that wanted to go back to their homes back to their homes. But again, right now, a primary and secondary search of the area near 16th and Ames appears to be over. We're also told that they are on standby in case more people are coming out here saying that they need help getting out of their homes. We talked to some people earlier today out here at the scene. Here's what they had to say.
No, not, well, one time this bad, but I never seen no rescue like this.
Yeah.
You know, it's pretty bad where the manhole covers were blowing off and there's black mud running around, and it's just, it's nasty.
What do you think about this rescue effort? Are you shocked?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah. You lived down here how many years now?
38.
38. And
Yeah.
you've seen some floods before, but...
I seen that last one that was 11 inches.
Yeah.
But it ain't none of this came around.
Now, again, they are wrapping up their primary rescue operation down here in the area of 16th and Ames. Where we are right now was where they kind of headquartered this operation. We're told that they are going to stay on standby, however. They did a primary and a secondary search. However, they think that some people might call for help that thought that they didn't need any or that they were in an area that they could get out. So they are going to have a boat ready and standing by if anyone needs them at any moment to get out of this area. Again, the good news, the water, they say, is receding. The bad news, it could go right back up. We're live near 16th and Ames. Dave Roberts, KETV, News Watch 7.
Thank you, Dave. And as he mentioned, right now, some of those evacuees are finding shelter near Cornish and Ames.
Yeah, evacuees emerged after being rescued, carrying a few belongings and toweled off after getting onto the bus. Some had family arrive to pick them up, like Mary Hall. She's lived in this area for 50 years and says this is the worst rain she's seen in a long time.
It's the worst for a long time.
Really?
Yep. Yep.
A whole lot worse.
Yeah, we haven't had it like this for a long time.
Okay. Any high winds? Did you sustain any damage?
No damage, but yeah, there was high winds and the hail.
There was 2 guys, I believe they said they was volunteer firefighters,
Okay.
and he gave us, there was 2 of them, they both gave us a ride, and they gave us a ride here to the bus. Well, they didn't, but they walked us most of the way.
Okay. And where do you expect to go here in the bus? Are you going to go to the
Home.
community center?
That was Jamie Fitzgerald. She was just visiting here when the storms hit. She's headed to her home in another part of Omaha, but there are people taking the Metro buses to the Florence Community Center. Red Cross has set up operations, bracing for more arrivals there throughout the night. And we saw even more flood rescues in Omaha tonight.
KETV News Watch 7's Christina Engdahl shows us more amazing video, this time from Saddle Creek and Dodge.
Witnesses say it took only moments for the water to come up high enough that it became impassable for a handful of cars, and that's when they say that firefighters had to rush out here and rescue a family stranded in a flooding car.
I see over here.
You're in the front?
Yeah.
And that man among 5 in this Honda CR-V. You can see it's out of commission now, and that's because water filled the car as they drove on Saddle Creek near Dodge, even submerging his seat in a matter of minutes. In fact, firefighters had to pull all of them from the car to safety. We're told everyone's okay, but they couldn't tow everything to safety. Small things just floated away, like this baby's shoe. But that family was not alone. Another car with a group of people inside also stalled out, and their car might still be sitting there, not for a man nearby rallying a group to push them out.
I was driving, wasn't paying attention to the water on the ground, and just kind of drove into it.
I asked my employees to come outside, see if they needed help. We all came outside and tried to help them out. They got out safely, let them inside, got it dried off,
Jason Carlisle works nearby, and in several years, he's only seen this area flood like this a couple times. But again, no one hurt. It's just a reminder how quickly the water comes up and how quickly it can take over a car in its path. Near Dodge and Saddle Creek, Christina Engdahl, KETV Newswatch 7.
Double trouble for Omaha police tonight. This cruiser stalled in floodwaters as officers tried to help other people. And another cruiser proves to be no match for hail. Just look at that damage at the Northeast Police Precinct. Well, breaking news out of Washington County tonight. The storm sends more than 24 people to the hospital.
Most go to the emergency room. And KETV Newswatch 7's Jeremy Maskell joins us live in Blair.
And we know at least 27 people have confirmed were hurt by the storm as it rolled through Blair this afternoon. And while I'm getting conflicting reports about the extent of those people's injuries, one thing is for sure, the extent of the damage in this area is severe. Take a look. Perfect example here live at the Washington County Sheriff's Office. Hail and the storm has smashed out windows of personal vehicles. Even the sheriff's deputies' cruisers here, we know as many as a dozen of them were damaged by the storm today, including the sheriff's own pickup. And the damage here, as bad as it is only a fraction of what we have been seeing across this area all evening. Everywhere you look in Blair, Nebraska, something is damaged, shredded, or shattered.
There's hail damage all over it. Lost my back windshield, my front windshield shattered. Glass all over the inside of my leather seats, and it's just ruined. It's gone.
Hundreds of homes cut up by ice, leaves, even trees torn down. For 10, 15 minutes, Beth Burge watched tennis ball-sized hail pummel her property.
There was just a huge whoosh of wind.
At points, it was so hard to see in the storm, more than one driver ended up off the road, this car dangerously close to a fast-flowing creek.
You could feel a little bit of shaking. It was scary.
At the Perfect Stay Inn and Suites, almost every north and west-facing window is broken.
It's sad. It's just sad to see all my work go.
Across Blair, 27 people had injuries seeking help at the local hospital, though we're told everyone will be okay. Now the city starts a lengthy cleanup with windows out at City Hall, the county courthouse, and storm drains clogged with debris.
Which is causing flooding to the intersections and so forth, so we got to get those cleaned out, with them calling for more rain coming yet this evening.
Original damage was done by the storm, all the hail. And really the biggest concern all evening after the original damage was done by the hail is the lingering rain, so much of it coming down all night for all the people here at the Washington County Courthouse. Sheriff's deputies trying to clean up the mess. There was just so much rain it made it almost impossible to really get out and get any progress done. As you heard there, storm drains clogged by debris. So really they are going to be working through the night, as many people as they can find and gather to clean up in case there is any more rain to prevent it from doing any more flooding or damage in our area. Reporting live in Blair, Jeremy Maskell, KETV Newswatch 7.
And Jeremy, thanks. I want to show you, actually, we was mentioning about the sheriff's deputies, the sheriff's truck. Mike Robinson gave us this picture. He says there is extensive damage to 12 of the marked units there, including the truck that you see. Well, no confirmed tornado touchdowns tonight, but people in Burt County have no doubt.
We are seeing major damage, particularly in Craig, where KETV Newswatch 7's Chin Doan continues our team coverage.
I'm in the intersection of Main Street and Pratt. This is the heart of Craig. To my right, you can see flattened grain bins, and then to my left, there are busted windows, broken tree limbs, debris everywhere left and right. For this town of only 250 people, the damage is significant, but their faith is strong.
The barns laying on our vehicles, got car damage. My little guy's swing set looks like it's in the neighbor's yard.
Nothing looks the same since Tuesday afternoon for Minnie and Craig.
We were out spotting. The wind started to get stronger, so we started to come to town. When I come to the edge of town, I then notified dispatch to sound the sirens.
And just a minute later, the storm tore through the town's busiest street. Tom Jensen knew it was bad just hearing all the noise while down in his basement. But when this mangled metal mess from his neighbors across the street ended up in his yard, he feared the worst.
You know, if this wasn't a tornado, I wouldn't want to be in a tornado.
Although Jensen now has a damaged work truck and lost some material things, he still has his sense of humor.
I said I just mowed yesterday. Good thing, because this would be a lot of bad stuff to mow around.
And all around here, neighbors helping neighbors and sharing encouragement.
I just tell them to stay strong, and we'll be there when we can, or if they need help, to call somebody, because there's always somebody that will be there to help.
And the assistant fire chief tells me the nearest town with power is Decatur. That's more than 20 miles away. So for now, they're going to keep their doors open so that way anyone who lives nearby can come in for shelter. And then when the sun comes up, they'll pick up where they left off. And Craig, Chindon, KETV, Newswatch 7.
Such a rough situation there. Also a breaking story out of Fremont tonight.
A deadly crash before the storm just outside of town. The sheriff confirms 2 fatalities, but at this point, that is all they're releasing.
Also want to update you on all the kids currently at Camp Kataki in Louisville. It's near the Platte River. We're told the 200 or so campers rode out the storm just fine. They took cover in the basement of a building. They say everyone's okay, and they're asking parents to stay put this evening. Do not try to come and get your kids there okay.
More flooding across the river tonight as waves of water leave people stranded.
KETV News Watch 7's Melissa Fry reports from Council Bluffs.
This is how deep the water is across Council Bluffs at any intersection across town. We are at 4th Avenue and 23rd Street, and we have seen a number of people stuck in their cars across town, including this woman and her baby. The engine stopped and she couldn't go anywhere. And we saw the same situation nearly every other block. It got so bad, people just stopped driving and started walking. And now residents wait to see how wet their homes will be when the storm finally passes.
And our basement's starting to flood a little now, so that's going to be fun tomorrow. We have 2 windows broken.
From what?
Hail. The hail that was earlier. And my mom has hail damage on her car.
For this woman, hail was no threat in comparison to collapsing trees.
Yeah, I just heard a big snap, and I thought, well, it's got to be somebody else's house, but not mine.
But it was Eva Leckington's pine tree.
Just snapped this time with the wind and everything.
For Leckington and her neighbors in Council Bluffs, cleaning up could take a long time. And although the streets are quiet right now, a lot of people likely taking their vehicles in for repairs on Wednesday. In Council Bluffs, Melissa Fry, KETV, Newswatch 7.
Well, just to the north of Council Bluffs, more damage. Take a look. We are on I-680 near Exit 1, just west of Crescent. As you can see there, water is covering acre after acre. A closer look shows that the hail came through just before that, and the rain, well, it all simply destroyed the crop. One farmer stopped by long enough to roll down his window and tell us his crop is gone.
Well, further east toward Oakland, Iowa, we saw even more damage from that first storm cell.
Then even more rain as the storms came through again. Here is KETV Newswatch 7's Adrian Whitsett.
If you want to know just how powerful the storm was that hit Oakland, Iowa, check out what happened to the lone tree in this asphalt parking lot. Literally just moved all the way over in the same way that the wind was blowing, that northwest wind that swept through town. Everyone we talked to said when they went to their basements, it sounded like a tornado came through, and when they came out, they saw what was left.
A few miles outside of Oakland, hail destroyed the side of this home on L66. And this farmstead had most of its outbuildings taken out completely. Inside Oakland,
took the kids downstairs in the basement. Basement window got busted out and was walking downstairs. They got a little glass on them.
A large tree in front of Nancy Putney's home snapped the power line.
Cracking, thunder, sound like shotguns going out outside. Sounds like whips cracking. I think that's when the tree fell. Then the lights flickered.
At the nearby Blimpies, water is the main issue.
Seen the lights were off and that, so seeing if they needed any help and that, so I plugged my generator in and hooked that up and started bailing water.
Pretty much we're just brooming out water for the most part and just trying to get everything out until it starts coming back in again.
On top of all the cleanup from the tree debris that's everywhere around Oakland, they've also got a lot of water to deal with, not only inside that Blimpies, but everywhere in town. We saw snow plows as well as front end loaders trying to move the debris and move the water so the cleanup could start. But as you can tell, these storms aren't quite over yet. Reporting in Oakland, Iowa, Adrian Whitsett, KETV, Newswatch 7.
Yeah, more damage in Pottawatomie County tonight in Missouri Valley. Storms took a toll in Harrison County as well.
KETV Newswatch 7's Kyle Gravlin has those breaking details.
The show started in central and eastern Nebraska today, and eastern Nebraska certainly saw their fair share of severe weather. But in western Iowa, that weather did not improve. Powerful storms ripped through Pottawatomie County and Harrison County. It all started down into parts of Pottawatomie County. Large hail, very heavy rain, strong wind gusts, and that hail was piling up along parts of I-29, both north and south, but lots of water on the roadways. As we pull up to Crescent, Iowa, you'll see this car right here almost completely submerged in water as it ended up going off the road as a result of low visibility, heavy rain, and strong wind. Did see one very large tree down in front of this house. Luckily, it mostly missed that house. Power lines down in that area. We did catch up with one person earlier who described some of the damage he sustained in Honey Creek.
All the windows have broke out of the north and west side of the house. Siding's all beat up, dented up. Crops are just look like they're wiped out.
In the Missouri Valley, the Wrath Inn losing a roof over several rooms. The good news is that no one was in any of those rooms at the time. Of course, in addition to all the severe weather and the damage caused today, that rain is still coming down at a very good clip heading into tonight, which means at least minor flooding in some spots, and we'll need to keep an eye on any more wind or hail damage. Reporting from Harrison County, Kyle Gravlin, KETV News Watch 7.
And breaking news on Interstate 29 right now. The wind blew a semi on its side in Fremont County near Percival. Southbound lanes are closed right now.
All right, now Epley Airfield closed for several hours, canceling 33 flights.
Hail battered planes. Crews had to bring out the snow brooms to clear the taxiways. The airport just reopened about 90 minutes ago, and the main threat now is, of course, that heavy rain. Look what they're up against just east of the airport there. Water, as far as you can see. All of the airport's pump stations are at max capacity, so check with your airline if you plan to fly out tomorrow. Tonight's cancellations already impacting those flights.
All right, so far it has been the rainiest day of the 21st century in Omaha, and the storm isn't over just yet. I want to take a live look at the Little Papio Creek, so it's called. This is near 63rd and L, about 10 to 12 feet out of its banks, flowing even closer to homes than it was an hour ago. We spoke with one of the residents there, Amanda, who said she was getting ready to move her family out of there. However, no formal evacuations have happened.
Now look at this video sent to us from the Big Papio Creek. Jeff Nelson, who sent us this, said you can just see there the big trees floating down the creek. He also said it's covering some of the Big Papio Trail near I-680 and Pacific as the water continues to run off from the storm.
And as we mentioned, 36th Street closed between 370 and Cornhusker because of that creek coming up. Here's another look at it. This is from 108th and West Dodge. This shot from our Skycam on top of the TD Ameritrade building. This was from earlier in the night. You can see the creek extremely swollen. If you look a little closer, you can see a lot of debris right down the middle of it, pretty close to overflowing its banks in some of the spots.
And one more different perspective on the creek. This is from the Miracle Hills Golf Course, so north and west of that last piece of video. This one near 120th and Blondo. Check that out. The creek rapidly, really moving quickly. Very full at this point.
And we have video from the Briarwood subdivision. This is in Council Bluffs. This is on the east side of the city. That's amazing. Creek churning, full of rainwater. That water is not supposed to be there, threatening to overflow its banks as well.
We know lots of viewers also show plenty of hail tonight. Check out this video from West Point. You can hear thunder, lightning in the background, and just look at the ground there. It almost looks like snow as it comes over the roads and grass.
And check out this hail pummeling everything in its sight. It's from Blair. You local viewers sent this in to us. Look at it. Hear that sound? That's hitting the ground and the cars around. Told the force of that hail was close to 90 miles an hour as it hit vehicles, buildings, everything else in sight.